the watch of Connor Hellebuyck is going to be kind of fascinating, isn't it?
Yes. So Jekyll and Hyde. Game one, I thought he was deep on the goals, but they won, right? So you win, you're fine. Game two, I thought he was fantastic. A little bit more aggressive, certainly dialed in. I thought his positioning was rock solid. Game three was a nightmare, throwaway. And it's almost like a coach burned the tape because everybody was red rotten. They got exposed. They were run out of the building physically. I don't know if I said it on the show on Friday. It looked like St. Louis had 7 players on the ice. They were everywhere. And Winnipeg was. So game three, I'll throw it out the window. Game four was interesting because Winnipeg started the first 18 minutes. They were out shooting them. They were out chancing them. They had the territorial advantage and looked good. But then what happens is St. Louis scores right with 2 minutes left in the first period. And you kind of have a game. And you're like, okay, how's Winnipeg going to respond? Run out of the building, period 2, period 3. Now, Mark Scheifele's a big part of that because they clearly targeted him. And he had no points and really no pushback, where he was dominant in games 1 and 2. But I look at some of the details. So Hellebuyck, no good. Robert Thomas goal, for example. That's goal number 5 last game. Kyle Connor goes into the offensive zone, stops up, tries to make a play, turns it over. Morrissey falls on the play. Kyle Connor gets beat up the ice by Robert Thomas. By 5 steps. It wasn't by, and Connor can move. It was just, he was late on the play. I wouldn't say lazy, but late on the play. If you look at the back door, it was Pionker DeMello was playing right shot, took away the pass. So Hellebuyck, that's your guy. Thomas literally just skates around Hellebuyck and puts it in the open net. There was no push from left to right. There was no like, I'm going to yard sail this to try and keep this puck out. No urgency on that puck. It's just like, I'm going to big, I'm going down, and geez, my lateral movement isn't great. I'm just not going to get there. That one's going in. I didn't like that goal. I thought that showed that St. Louis was getting to him and exposing some of the things that, listen, he's not a perfect goaltender, but lateral movement, he's very robotic and compartmentalized. And there is a formula to try and get him moving, and you can get around him. And St. Louis found that. Now they got the last change because Luke Shen looked like, a 30, whatever he is. How old is he? 35? 32?
I don't think he's that old. Maybe I'm
wrong. He looked 42 last game.
Yeah, jeez.
And
I thought you were saying the other shit. Sorry.
Yeah, no, not his brother.
Yeah, Luke,
the big-headed defenseman. I love that guy. He's an animal. 35. He looked 45. But on the road, you can't shield him. There.
Yeah.
You can't shield him. And he wasn't the only problem. They missed DeMello in the third game because he was sick. But in the end, giving up way too many, downhill chances, Hellebuyck has to be better though. And I like the fact, because he's usually a sociopath when he talks and gives up 7 and goes, I felt great. I don't know what. He called himself out and said, I need to be better. I will be better. So I'm really excited to see how he's going to play tonight and how they respond, because that was 2 drubbings where they got run out of the building in St. Louis.
We'll let you get out of it. We talked to Devin Dubnyk on Monday, and we were talking about the Oilers and going from Skinner to Pickard. You don't have that option here, right? You just have to go with Hellebuyck, good, bad, indifferent, don't you?
This guy might win the Hart.
Yeah.
Not just a Vezina. I'm part of the voting process. He was number 1 on my list.
Oh, dear.
I had Draisaitl at 2 because he missed those games down the stretch. But, I mean, if you look at it, he had an unbelievable season. And for me, he was a Hart finalist. That's the way I looked at it. Winnipeg's a lot better in front of him this year, but they're just, there's lots of guys that could have been up for the Hart or should have, but there was injuries involved and inconsistencies down the stretch. And you could have had Kucherov in there. You could have had McKinnon, Makar, you name it. I loved Quinn Hughes for the Hart, but they fell apart near the end.
Oh God, I wish we could ask you about Vancouver.
We didn't even touch that yet.
I got time.
Back to Boom's question, you can't. Carmer doesn't solve it. You still have to go to Hellebuyck, even if he shits his pants early.
That's my point. This isn't like, hey, Hellebuyck allows 2 goals on 4 shots tonight. Comrie, you're going in to save this. It's like,
Yeah.
this is your net. You play every night. You've been pulled 2 games in a row.
Mhm.
There's no, like, I think tonight Hellebuyck has to finish the game no matter what happens to it. That would be my opinion of it, because it's not like Comrie came in and slammed the door. Keep in mind, Comrie, there wasn't an injury in Winnipeg where Comrie, I believe Pickard won 22 games for Edmonton this year. Like, he played a lot, where, you know, you're going to a guy that the team is familiar with and trusts in the net in Edmonton, as opposed to Comrie, who's an amazing person, great backup, but there's a potential Hart Trophy / for sure Vezina winner in the net. He only comes out if they give up a touchdown tonight in the first period.
Rolly, the goalie, is not taking Hasek's spot. Don't care how many goals were scored on Dom.
Exactly. McLennan's not taking Kiprusoff's spot.
Is Keenan coaching? Hang on, because he did that.
Yeah, well, that's
you never know.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.